must have been all good, like.
I totally feel like I'm blending in with the background right now. Like, was a white shirt the right choice for this video? I don't know. This video today is going to be a treat for those of you who really like my paranormal videos or any of my paranormal story times, ghost videos, any of that stuff. If you follow me on Snapchat, then you probably already know what I'm talking about, but let me grab her for you guys. So this right here is little baby Dimples. Isn't she cute? She has little dimples. That's why she's called Dimples. Girl, your dress. You don't want to be indecently exposed. Not trying to flash the audience. I'm going to share with you guys a story of how I got her, and then I also want to talk about some of the creepy things that have been happening in my house ever since I got her. I'm sure that a lot of you guys think that this is so creepy, but I actually find it really interesting because this doll is an antique. So she's really, really old. She's from the 1930s, so that makes her pretty much 80 plus years old. I'm not exactly sure, but if only she could talk, imagine what she has seriously been through. That's crazy. This doll has been around 4 times as long as I have in my entire life. Like, that is mind-blowing. So I'm sure you guys want to know the story of how I got little baby Dimples here. She's actually from my aunt. My aunt gave her to me, and my aunt got her from an estate sale. So an estate sale is just a sale that somebody has when a person passes away. They sell all of their stuff. So the person that was selling her actually charged a pretty hefty price for her. I don't know exactly what my aunt paid, but I know it wasn't very cheap. And the reason why she was so expensive is because she's an antique doll from the 1930s. And so she's really, really old. You can see like all of the cracks and stuff in her face. Actually, there's a bunch of cracks in her neck too. And if you even take her bonnet off, there's like a ton of cracks under here as well. So I'm very, very careful with her because I don't want her to break. My aunt really wanted her too because she has all of her original clothing, so I don't know if you can really tell, but she has these cute little stockings on, and she has little booties, and she even has a little diaper under here that's clothespined, and she has her perfect little dress and her bonnet, which is like under here. There's like the white dolly part of it. So she really has all of her original clothing, which is awesome, and she's just all completely dressed up, decked out, girl. She's ready for a night on the town, getting bougie here. I can actually feel like a bunch of cracks in her head right here, which makes me sad. She's so old that her eyes are green and they're super discolored, and everywhere around her mouth is super, super cracked, as well as her neck. And then she has these cute little teeth, but she used to have red lips and all of the paint chipped off. So you can just tell what she's been through.
Maybe
a piece of her neck broke off, and then let's show them where her little bonnet broke. Right here, and we had to tape it. It just kind of broke. It's really old.
Maybe she ate some kids.
What?
Her mouth, and then after it was like bloody.
It does look a little bloody in there.
Just the way her mouth is, I think.
Oh,
although
there
there's
used to be
something
red on her
eye
neck.
right there.
There used to be red on here, Annie.
It's really hard to hold her up, and I don't want her to break, so I feel like I'm just going to put her on my lap. I mean, I could hold her like a little baby like this, but then it's even more odd. So I'm just going to put her on my lap right here so she can stare at you guys right in the face. We could put her little bonnet up so she can see you guys. My aunt collects antiques, so when she first got the doll, she looked her up on eBay, and she did find out that her name was Dimples. And so if you look on eBay, you can find other dimple dolls like this one. And the ones that we were looking at, they usually go from about $65 to $185, so they're pretty expensive dolls just because they're antiques. I actually think it's really cool that I own one because I love to think about the history behind things, and I really wish that I knew more of this exact doll's history, but I don't really know too much because the person that my aunt bought her from didn't really tell her anything. The only thing that the person told her was that they had noticed some activity in the house, so I really don't know what that means, like what kind of activity. They didn't really give her much info on it, and my aunt just kind of like bought the doll and ran with it because she got it for like a pretty good price. It was expensive, but like enough where she made a profit with it. But then my aunt ended up keeping the doll. Since the person that sold this doll to my aunt said that she might be sort of possessed or that she could hold a spirit or an entity, my aunt actually ended up keeping her in the attic just in case anything would happen. She was kind of like freaked out by it, I guess, and she kept her up there. My aunt's house is already really spooky if you guys have seen like my aunt's haunted house tour. So her house is full of antiques, and I'm sure that, you know, there might be like entities or spirits that attach themselves to like old objects and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys have seen movies or heard things about haunted dolls and how they're possessed, and a lot of times dolls do kind of trap spirits because if you think about it, it's a children's toy. So, you know, a little girl might become really attached to this, you know, when they're young or something, and then when they do pass away, their spirit can become kind of attached to the item that they played with a lot or that they really love. That's why sometimes dolls can hold spirits, and if you've seen the movie Annabelle, that's actually based off of a true story. Except that doll was extremely demonic and possessed, and I wouldn't want that near my house. The reason that I have her is because I was thinking about getting a haunted doll for a while now, and I was thinking of like ordering one off of eBay or Amazon or something, but I didn't know for sure if those were going to be real, if I was going to pay like a bunch of money to get like a fake haunted doll just so that they could sell it. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that, and I got the idea originally from Loey. So if you guys watch Loey's videos, Loey Lane or Loey Bug, she's super cute and I love her so much. So Lo, if you're watching, hi, definitely got the idea. It was definitely inspired off of her. I saw her video where she bought a haunted doll and I was like, I really want to do that. I ended up telling my aunt, and my aunt was like, oh my gosh, you don't have to buy one. I have one upstairs. I got it at an estate sale and you can totally have her. So that's the reason why I got her, and she's been living with me for about 2 days. I know that there's a lot of people out there who are really skeptical about paranormal things and haunted objects, but I just want to talk to you guys about some of the creepy things that have been happening around my house lately. Whether you choose to believe them or not is up to you. I already know that a ton of people think that I'm absolutely crazy, but I did want a haunted doll. I wanted her because I wanted to see if anything would happen around my house, but I also think that she's really unique and cool. I bet you that there's so many stories behind her. I just wish that I knew them. So far, these are the things that have happened since I got the doll, and I've only had her for 2 days, so there's not like a ton of things, but these are just things that I've noticed. First of all, when my aunt first gave her to me, I was like looking at her dress and stuff and just holding her, and then all of a sudden my hand started itching really, really bad out of nowhere, and it was like right here in the corner, and I actually ended up taking a picture of it because I didn't want to think that I was crazy. I was like, I have to document what's going on, and it was just really weird, like really red where I was itching it. Maybe I touched something weird earlier, I don't know. But then the second thing that happened was I was at my little sister's house, and I was showing one of my sisters the doll, and so she was like looking at it and stuff. All of a sudden, like in the doll's hand was a long piece of my sister's hair, but my sister had her hair like tied up in a braid, and the doll wasn't, like the hands weren't even touching my sister's hair. The doll had a piece of my sister's hair just like dangling from her hand, and I'm like, okay.
In her hand.
I don't know.
I think it's
A piece of Ava's hair was in the doll's hand for some reason. That's weird. Did you feel her like rip it out or anything?
No.
Did you see it in her hand?
It's weird because her hair is up now. Like in a braid.
Yeah, and her hair's in a braid. I don't understand. That's really weird. I mean, maybe like a piece of her hair like just happened to fall into her hand or something. I don't know. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Even though I know that it was probably nothing, it was just kind of like weird. When we noticed that, I took a video too, because obviously I'm going to film everything that's going on. I'm going to document everything because I knew that she might have a spirit or something attached to her. We're going to put her into Ava's little crib right now, just for now. And we're going to leave her in this room for a little while. Later that day, we were all eating dinner, and it was like my whole family was there. So my cousin Nathan and Brianna were both there too. My cousin Brianna is sitting near me on the couch, and then my cousin Nathan yells over from the kitchen table, and he was like, hey Brianna, why are you typing to me on Snapchat right now? And it was weird because she wasn't even on her phone. Like her phone wasn't even in her hands. It was like on the table next to her. And she's like, I'm not typing to you on Snapchat. And he's like, really? Because you just sent me a smiley face. So I turned to her and I'm like, okay, Brianna, you probably did. You probably just were like, you sent it earlier or something, and maybe like it happened to say that you were typing now, but you've like forgot you sent something earlier. I don't know, maybe it was a mistake. So she like goes to her phone and opens her Snapchat, and there's nothing in there. There was no sent smiley face or anything, and it was just really, really weird. And you know how sometimes it will say like that someone's typing if you type something but didn't send it? Yeah, it was empty. There was nothing in the box where you sent things. I know that this is dumb to say like something weird on Snapchat could be paranormal, but I'm just saying it happened the day that I got the doll. Like we were just talking about the doll, and then that happened. After eating dinner and spending time at my family's house, then me and my cousin Brianna decided to leave. So we were like walking out to her car, and all of a sudden, I shit you not, she was like, my hand itches really, really bad. And I was like, okay, shut up. So I look at her hands and they're actually red. Where does it itch? Like that red
here.
part?
Yeah, and then right here and right here.
That's so weird. That's how it was on my hand earlier. That's really weird.
It itches really, really bad right here. But like it itches all right here, but really bad right here.
So I pull my phone out and I start filming, and I'm just like, there's no way. Like, are you kidding me right now? And she's like, I swear to God, in my entire life, my hands are itching right now. It's just such a bizarre coincidence. Like, how does my hand itch from touching the doll? And then all of a sudden later, my cousin's hand also itches from touching the doll. I end up taking the doll with me home that night. That was the first night that she was here. And I sat her in my little chair in my room. And then I just like did some stuff. I think like I edited a video or something. But I was in my room for a while. And then I went out into my living room from my bedroom. And when I I walked out there, my air conditioner was on, and I was like, what? Because I don't remember turning my air conditioner on, and I don't know why I would turn it on because it hasn't really been that warm in Michigan. It's probably been about like 60 something degrees, but it's like not that hot or anything to where I needed to turn the air conditioner on. So I just thought that was like really, really odd. The only other weird thing that I've noticed, which probably isn't even that weird, are just things with Snapchat. Like I was on Snapchat last night and I was putting this filter on my face. You know how sometimes if you put like the flower crown or the dog face on your face, it'll like sometimes do it to like your necklace or your shirt or something. The filter will attach to that, but it literally just attached itself to the air. Like it was almost like there was a face just in the air next to me, because how did the facial recognition software randomly find just something just on my shoulder or like near me? I've had that happen a million times, but usually when it happens, it's some kind of an object or something and not just the freaking air next to me. So that kind of freaked me out last night. Also, probably just because it was the first night that the doll was in my room. I ended up like logging off of Snapchat because I got a little bit creeped out by that. But then today I was putting the dog filter on the doll and I was just doing it for like Instagram story or Snapchat or something. You know how if you don't open your mouth, then the tongue doesn't come out and the dog just stays with the ears and the nose? Well, I was doing it to the doll and the tongue came out.
Look. She's cute. But how is it moving when her mouth doesn't move?
I was like, girl, what? I don't really know if all of these things are actually paranormal. You guys can definitely make that judgment for yourself. I'm not saying that these things are. I'm just saying that those are the weird things that have happened since I've had the doll, and I definitely will continue to document all of my experiences and if anything weird happens, but so far that's pretty much been it. My theory about Dimples is that she might have a spirit attached to her. Maybe it's a little girl of some sort. I mean, that would be the most logical thing that I could think of, just because, you know, a lot of times people did have these dolls and they became attached to them as children, and you know, it's little dolls like that sometimes. I don't know, all of a sudden I just got this really weird feeling, like I don't know how to explain it. Like in front of me it looked really like white, kind of like a cloudy fog, but I think it's just my ring light that was like making my eyes burn or something. But I just got kind of dizzy at the same time, so it was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's actually possessed with anything evil or demonic or anything like that. You know, if anything is attached to her, it hasn't done anything to me and I felt fine. Of course, my aunt had her in the attic at her house and she didn't ever say that anything went wrong. I am going to keep you guys fully updated on anything that might happen with the doll, but so far so good. I think we're pretty good. You guys can follow me on my socials like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat if you guys want to stay updated with me and Dimples here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.